Tetragrammaton.
So when I was like 12 or 13, at that point, I had been playing the guitar for like a year. I was with these guys in my school that we would, in their dad's garage, we would play Metallica covers. That's pretty much all we'd play, a bunch of Metallica covers. And that's kind of a big part of how I learned how to play the guitar, was playing either Sabbath, Metallica, Maiden, sometimes Slayer. My friends really didn't get Slayer, but they loved Metallica.
Understood.
But I loved Slayer and I would fight with them over it. But we would play these Metallica covers, so I knew all these Metallica covers. As you know, when I got older, I knew them. And so we were on tour with Metallica on the Summer Sanitarium tour. I met Metallica on stage.
Really?
Playing with them. I never met them before.
Wow.
We're the first band. Nobody knows us. It's 1999, maybe at this point. Toxicity's not out yet. We're on our first album. And we are on the Summer Sanitarium tour. It's us, band called Powerman 5000. Kid Rock was on there. I think Korn was on there, and Metallica. There was like 5 bands on the bill. We were the first band that opened up.
When people are walking in.
Yeah. Nobody knows who System of a Down is at this point. And so we're on that tour, and James Hetfield, along the way, gets injured. I don't know. They told me he was going water skiing or something, and he got injured. So they didn't cancel the show. So all the opening bands played, and then Metallica still went on stage, and Jason Newsted was singing, and then they brought the guys from Korn on, and they kind of played like this Cheech and Chong cover song or something. It was like they didn't know what to do.
Yeah.
Because James wasn't there. And I turned to my tech and I go, listen, man, I go tell their tech that I know a lot of their shit. Because I've learned it playing it in this garage with these other guys. I go, I know a lot of their shit from, you could say, Justice for All and back.
Yeah.
Next thing you know, my tech goes and talks to their guitar tech. And then my tech comes back to me. He's like, all right, come with me. Never met Metallica before. And I'm telling you, Metallica was the first concert I ever went to in my life. Like, I was a huge Metallica fan.
Where did you see him play the first show?
At the Irvine Meadows.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Faith No More opened up for them. Justice for All tour.
Yeah.
So next thing you know, I go on the other side of the stage. I get handed a Les Paul. I think it was one of Kirk Hammett's Les Pauls. And they're like, all right, go. 60,000 people.
That's so wild.
Yeah, 60,000 people. I'm in my after show. I'm wearing a Lakers fucking sweats. I'm wearing like, I'm not even ready to like get on stage. I'm wearing a white tank top and a Lakers sweats. And I'm just completely was there just watching Metallica, you know?
Yeah.
Next thing you know, I get handed a guitar and they go, you gotta understand, our band's not big yet. I'm still a kid. I'm 22 years old. I can't even believe that we're even allowed to open up for Metallica.
Of course.
So this is all new to me.
Yes.
At this point of my life.
Yes.
And they put me out there and I turn and I'm like, hey, it's Lars, it's Kurt, it's Jason Newsted was the bass player at the time. They're like, what do you know? I go, I don't know. Master of Puppets? Okay. Count it in. We're playing fucking Master of Puppets. I'm like, I'm up there with Metallica playing Master of Puppets in front of 60,000 people.
Unbelievable.
And I'm like, who's gonna sing? And I said, fuck it, I'll go sing.
And you sang it?
And I sang.
Amazing.
And then there's this thing that happened where in the middle of Master of Puppets, it has this slow part. Instead of going into that slow part, they went into Sanitarium.
Yeah.
And I didn't know they were going to do that. And we went in and we did the middle part of Sanitarium and then came out of it and went back into Master. I mean, you would think we rehearsed it, but we didn't rehearse it.
And you didn't even know it was going to happen.
I didn't even know it was going to happen. And it happened. And I'm up there and I'm playing Metallica with Metallica in front of an audience where I would have been in the fucking cheap seats just 3 years ago. You know, I would have been in the last fucking row.
That's unbelievable.
And then, I don't know, somewhere down the line, like I got off stage.
Yeah.
And next thing you know, they're coming to me. They're like, hey, dude, James isn't going to be able to play for a few nights. They want you to come and play with them like fucking every...
That is wild.
And next thing you know, Kirk Hammett's in front of me with a guitar. And I go, hey, bro, I know all your old stuff, but I don't really know the load and the reload and all that stuff. So Kirk's trying to teach me stuff off load. And then next thing you know, they're like, hey, get your shit from your bus, because you're flying on the private jet with us now.
So you were in Metallica for this little window.
So the first plan was to have me play a whole set with them.
Yes.
And I was preparing for that, and I was relearning all the old stuff and trying to learn all the load stuff. And then by the time so I flew with them and everything. And then they decided, hey, it would be a cooler thing if we invited different band members from the different bands that were on the gig.
Yes.
So the next night I was up on stage with Metallica again, and I know I was supposed to play one, and I got there and I, was ready to play one, and I turned to, I forgot, maybe Jason or Kirk or someone, and I'm like, who's gonna sing? Because I had no idea.
Of course.
They turned to me and they're like, Bob. And I'm like, who the fuck is Bob? And I see Kid Rock come up, and I didn't know Kid Rock's name was Bob.
That's so funny.
And so Kid Rock comes up and he sings the first night, and we did one, and it's really fucking cool because one has the whole, and I'm like thinking, dude, you're playing this shit with fucking Metallica. You're turning around and it's like Lars.
It'd be completely surreal.
It was crazy. I'll never forget it. And even after that, like their texts would come up to me like in different tours and be like, dude, don't think we forgot what you did. You brought it that day. I don't want to say like you saved the show, but they were kind of like, you fucking brought it. They were struggling, and then you got up, you did Master of Puppets, and
wow.
Yeah, man, like that happened. That's as
amazing.
A kid growing up, and I'm telling all these things, all these bands.
And you're not in a popular band yet.
Nope. System of a Down ain't shit yet.
That's wild.
Yeah.
What a cool experience.
Oh man, I'll never forget it. Even though my band is where we're at right now, it still brings like goosebumps to that I had a chance to experience that at that point of my career. At that
being
point,
such a fan of them.
Huge fan.
It's so cool.
Yeah.
It's so cool. It's like living a dream.
Yeah, it was.
Amazing.
It was.
Let's hear Master of Puppets.
At this point, we're in 1986. I'm 11 years old. So this was my introduction to thrash. whole thing happening in the Bay Area with Bay Area thrash. They came from the Bay Area.
They walked away, never you betray. Life of death becoming clearer. Pain monopoly, rich from misery. Tap your breakfast on a mirror. Taste me, you will see. More is all you need. Dedicated to.
The difference between that song and the first Metallica song we listened to was in the early Metallica, you could hear more of like the Iron Maiden influence, whereas this doesn't sound like any of the old metal. It's like they found their voice.
Yeah, and a little bit more polished, you could say, as well. As it went on, the first album was a little bit more raw. You heard more of the Motorhead there. Now you're starting to hear more of the metal.
But the first one we listened to, the vocals sounded more derivative. And on that one, they sounded more like what we know Metallica sounds like.
Yeah. Like I said, a lot of these bands evolved themselves into other things.
Absolutely.
Here's a band that I really fucking love from this era that kind of gets forgotten, is a band called Overkill. Not Bay Area. They're from the East Coast. But I remember them being a really big deal for me when I was in my teenage years.
Fast double kick drum.
Yeah. All that's starting to happen. Tight riffs.
Yeah.
With the hardcore energy, but with the tight riffs like
Would you call it
Metallica.
more speed metal, maybe?
I mean, you would either call it thrash or speed metal. That was the word that we used to use. There was Exodus, there was Testament. Then you had German bands that Creator, Destruction, Sodom, those are like the three German bands that were kind of around the same time as this was happening.
Who's your favorite of those?
I really used to love Creator.
Could we hear them?
Now you got the vocals doing some shit here that is a little ahead of its time as well.
Try to
I remember I'd be sitting in the car with my parents and I would tell them, put this on. And I'd be in the back seat. But they would be listening to it too.
Wow, you're very understanding parents. You can see how, for like adults, hearing something like this or hearing rap music for the first time was just like, it's not even music.
Yeah,
it's just some other thing.
Yeah. Extreme.
So extreme. But that's what drew us to it.
Yeah. What drew me to it was it's like heavier than the last thing. And then I love Metallica, but this guy sings like this. I remember someone gave me a cassette of a bunch of bands with no names on it. And that's the first time I heard this, but I didn't know it was them until I went to the record store and accidentally bought Creator, Endless Pain. That was the album name. And I still have the cassettes at home. I still have them on cassette. This is the first time I think I might have even heard vocals that were like this. It became kind of like a black metal vocal vibe as later on, you know, but this was happening in like 85.
Wow.
It's getting more extreme, even from Slayer. It's getting more extreme than Slayer, because these bands heard Slayer and were like, well, how can we make that even fucking crazier? And in comes a band called Napalm Death. Mm-hmm. Napalm Death is, you consider grindcore, but some people may say they were the first grindcore band that comes in, and here's you hear all the elements of hardcore, heavy metal, punk rock, but then we're gonna take it even crazier and do blast beats. They're doing this in like 86.
Where are they from?
England. So we went from Venom, which was like, oh, this is really crazy. And then Slayer, wow, these guys took Venom to another level. Now you got this stuff coming out. There is an element of shock
for sure
in metal through the years, whether it's the lyrics.
More extreme, more extreme, more extreme. Faster, crazier.
Trying to take it to a higher intensity.
Yeah.
So, you know, Napalm Death started like this, but then ended up more like death metal as time went on. But this was like the early Napalm Death. If I'm not mistaken, I think Napalm Death still exists, but I don't think anybody who was on that recording is still in the band.
LMNT Electrolytes. Have you ever felt dehydrated after an intense workout or a long day in the sun? Do you want to maximize your endurance and feel your best? Add LMNT Electrolytes to your daily routine. Perform better and sleep deeper. Improve your cognitive function. Experience an increase in steady energy with fewer headaches and fewer muscle cramps. LMNT Electrolytes. Drink it in the sauna. Refreshing flavors include grapefruit, citrus, watermelon, and chocolate salt. Formulated with the perfect balance of sodium, potassium, and magnesium to keep you hydrated and energized throughout the day. These minerals help conduct the electricity that powers your nervous system so you can perform at your very best. LMNT Electrolytes are sugar-free, keto-friendly, and great tasting. Minerals are the stuff of life. So visit drinklmnt.com/tetra and stay salty with LMNT Electrolytes. LMNT.
Were there other grindcore bands?
Yeah. Carcass.
Bands feel more in the lineage of Discharge, but more technical.
It's Discharge, it's the fastness of metal. There's a fusion of things that are happening that bring us here, like the blast beat.
It's fast to the point where it doesn't necessarily even sound fast. It's like just a
white noise, or
yeah, like just a sound.
Yeah. I used to fall asleep to bands like this. I did. I found it relaxing because it's constant.
Yeah. It's like a vacuum cleaner.
Yeah. Napalm Death, Carcass, they get credited as being one of the few first of the grindcore scene. Here's a band I love called Brutal Truth. That blast beat, like almost not human.
Who was the first Cookie Monster vocalist?
It evolved into that. So the grindcore thing, you know, there's a few bands, like here's another band from the US called Repulsion that, once again, this was all still very underground stuff, but these guys were kind of, you know, doing something that other people weren't really necessarily doing.
Something like a rebel, I steal your head, everybody here, don't
are not heavy metal vocals anymore either. When we start getting into extreme metal, it starts becoming
closer to discharge.
Closer to discharge and becomes more of, you're not singing anymore. Sometimes punk phrasing.
Yeah, no melody, it's all monotone.
Yeah. So yeah, that was Repulsion. Then, you know, we can start getting into, as the late 80s come around, death metal. A lot of the classic death metal bands came out of Tampa, Florida.
Really?
Yeah.
That's interesting. I wonder why that is.
The band Death, Cannibal Corpse, Deicide, Morbid Angel, all these bands came from Tampa, Florida.
Wow. Wonder what was happening in Tampa at that time.
But there is a band before we get to those bands that some people say were death metal before death metal. And they even had a song called death metal.
Cool.
Which some people say named the genre. But their really great song is a song called The Exorcist. The band called Possessed, which is from the Bay Area. These guys were doing this really early on, like early 80s.
Early 80s.
They formed early, but this album probably came out around 85.
And they were called what again?
Possessed.
Possessed.
The first album they call was called Seven Churches. And yeah, they're from the Bay Area, but you know, it's debatable.
Mm-hmm.
But some people will credit them as being one of the first death metal bands.
And what's your favorite of the Tampa bands?
I love them all. I love them all. They all do something a little bit different, but we got to start with Death. Death is a really, really important band. Really important heavy metal band. Some people think that the genre was named after the Possessed song, and some people think death metal is named after the band Death.
Mm-hmm.
The main guy in Death is a guy named Chuck Schuldiner. The band changes, but he's the same. He's the main guy. But the style of Death goes from your traditional Death influenced by thrash with Death vocals, but as Death goes on, they become very technical and a different version of the same band, but it becomes more proggy, you could say. But they start with, you know, just... This is a song called Evil Dead, and it's off the first Death album. the beginning of, you could say, death metal.
How would you describe it as different than thrash?
The vocals,
Yep.
the growly vocals. Morbid Angel death metal. It's called Immortal Rights.
Call upon immortals. Call upon the young sons to intercede. Free us of our human ways. Resurrect the lives. Make us flow in darkness. Oh, enlighten us to your ways.
And the lyrics are all very satanic with Morbid Angel on these first few records.
Journey world of mindlessness. Streets of burning war. Haunting lights fill the room. Sounds maybe hunting by. Shadows cast faceless beings. Lost a century. Lords of death, I summon you. Reside within our brains. Cast your spells on our life. That's the they receive. Gift of immortality. Instead of those who seek you.
That were into thrash and into Slayer, and then this stuff started coming out. This gained a lot of popularity, I'd say, in the heavy metal community in the late 80s, early 90s. Like, once you started listening to this, you got used to the vocals, and you were just like, I just want to hear this. This took heavy to another level.
Death, I summon you, reside within our brains. Cast your spells on our life, not to be made or receive. Gift of immortality, bestowed on those who seek.
From the grindcore stuff that now these guys are using blast beats. Like, some of this is happening around the same time, but it's also evolving around the same time. Another Tampa band, Deicide. Morbid Angel and Deicide, their lyrical themes were more like satanic. The singer of Deicide, I think, had like burned an upside down cross on his forehead, like it's scarred there. Once again, we're going into satanic kayfabe. And you know, some of these dudes, you're like, oh, these lyrics are more intense, and they look more intense.
Yeah.
And I mean, we really get into satanic kayfabe once we get into the black metal stuff.
They're living the gimmick, as they say in wrestling.
Yes, but the black metal really is taking it to another level, but here's a little taste of Deicide.
They sound more influenced a little bit by Metallica than the others.
Really?
Yeah. The one before this sounded more Slayer influenced.
Well, these guys just took all that stuff and it was like made it more intense. And even the satanic part of Slayer, they took that and made it more intense. The lyrics were even more extreme Satan. Yeah. With these two bands at least, but then you have a band like Obituary, once again from Tampa, Florida. Wow. This is Obituary, chopped in half.
Feel the blood spill from your mouth. Rotting waves come destiny. Feel the stones hanging on it. Breathe. Jump it out. Feel the blood spill from your mouth. Rotting waves come destiny. Feel the stones hanging on it.
Obituary didn't use too many blast beats. They were more, I don't know how to explain it, but not necessarily focused on going fast, but a little kind of sludgy. And then you have Cannibal Corpse with their hit song called I Come Blood. But you see how these bands all sound different from each other.
They really do.
I had never heard vocals like this before I heard Cannibal Corpse.
There's a good reason for that.
Sepultura started a certain way, and as they went along, they changed too. They always kind of pushed the Sepultura sound.
Is this early?
This is early Sepultura. Not the earliest, but like 2 or 3 albums in.
Definitely sound different than the others.
Sepultura is somewhere between thrash. At this era of Sepultura, even the fans were like, is this death metal? Is it thrash? Because the vocals are kind of have the growly death thing, but the music kind of has the thrash vibe to it. And like I said, as they went along, their sound kind of changed into a more groovy thing.
Oh, that's interesting.
Contradictions arise, blame and lies. Contradictions arise.
Here's another band out of Brazil that was kind of, you could say, more influential in the black metal scene, was a band called Sarcophago. This is INRI. The grindcore kind of thing, but there's more metal here than in grindcore. And these guys coming out of Brazil, you know, Sepultura and them. So to be discovered out of Brazil.
Have you seen any of these bands live?
Sepultura I have.
How were they?
They were great. I saw them open up for Ozzy way back in the day in Costa Mesa. You know, this is late 80s. Playing a song from later Death, the band Death, so people can see
what they evolved into.
Yeah. This is a song called Nothing Is Everything. Technical drumming. The musicianship is at like a really high level. Every day. A lot of changes. Unpredictable variation of behavior. The key to any mental door, where nothing is everything, and everything is nothing, staring beyond the wall 1,000 times over.
Fast prog rock.
Yep. Well, it becomes very proggy.
Being a part of them, that is real.
I mean, listen to what the drums are doing.
How it might feel to be denied of what life has to give. Behind mental shadows, they must live.
Ingve. You could say that in some ways, yeah.
Look deep into their eyes.
Death is it's its own thing, man.
Yeah.
Like, what? He passed away, this singer.
Take control of life every day.
But their albums are really considered classic albums, to the point where there is members of the band that tour till this day. They play these songs. Obviously, the singer's not there.
Yeah. At the beginning of the song was the first time I heard a connection between the death metal vocal style, which sounded so original in everything we've been listening to, going back to Lemmy. Because it sounds a little bit like it could be Motorhead at the beginning.
Well, that Lemmy vocal style, you know how you asked, well, how do we get to Cookie Monster?
Yeah.
That was kind of, you could say, the beginning of just that growly kind of throat kind of vocal comes from Lemmy to some degree.
But I feel like Lemmy just naturally sings like that. And most of the other guys sound like they're putting on a voice to sound like that.
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
In a world of artificial highs and harsh stimulants, there is something different, something clean, something precise. Athletic nicotine. Not the primitive products found behind convenience store counters. Not the aggressive buzz that leaves you jittery, but a careful calibration of clean energy and focused clarity. Athletic nicotine. The lowest dose tobacco-free nicotine available. Made entirely in the USA. No artificial sweetener, just pure, purposeful elevation. Athletic nicotine is a performance nootropic. Athletic nicotine is a tool for shifting mindsets. Athletic nicotine is a partner in pursuit of excellence. Slow release, low dose, gradual lift, sustained energy, soft landing, inspired results. Athletic nicotine, more focus, less static. Athletic nicotine, more clarity, less noise. Athletic nicotine, more accuracy, less anxiety. Athletic nicotine, from top athletes pushing their limits to artists pursuing their vision. Athletic nicotine offers the lift you've been looking for. Learn more at athleticnicotine.com/tetra and experience next level performance with Athletic Nicotine.
Warning, this product contains nicotine. Nicotine is an addictive chemical.
So we've covered death metal, and now my favorite of all the genres.
Yes.
Black metal.
Black
from
metal.
Norway.
And when is this compared to the others? Time on the timeline?
Early 90s.
Early 90s.
But we're going to have to bring up a couple of bands that sparked this. There's the first wave of black metal, which we talked about, Venom.
Yep.
And they had an album called Black Metal. Then we got to talk about a couple bands. One of them is called Hellhammer, which, have you ever heard of a band called Celtic Frost?
Yes.
So Hellhammer was Celtic Frost before they were called Celtic Frost. So this is Hellhammer, the third of the Storms. And this, you could say, is very, very influential to black metal. Early 80s.
So it's like a precursor.
Yes. You could even say the death metal bands were influenced by this. The aggression that they're throwing down and the vocal style that they're doing and the darkness of the riff really, really wasn't being done at this time. I'll play you some Celtic Frost. It's a song called Nocturnal Fear.
How much later is this than what we just heard?
About a year or two.
So close.
Yeah, very close. But this is also, you could say, a precursor like to the vocal style of death metal and the throat vocal. I'd say around 1984, 85.
closer to rock here.
Well, remember, this is closer in time to Motorhead and Venom than it is to later on death metal and all that stuff. So you still hear the Motorhead and the Venom in this.
Vibration of the black edge. It's a total fear penetration lens. Satyricon series, and it's the night. Sharp the claws.
That's Celtic Frost, Hellhammer, Celtic Frost. First wave of black metal. These bands are considered that. And another band that is part of the first wave of black metal is a band called Bathory.
Where are they from?
I think Bathory is from Sweden. And this is Bathory. Once again, early 80s. It's called In Conspiracy with Satan. Listen to the vocals, though. This is, once again, ahead of its time. So you hear how the production is and everything?
Yeah.
So when we get to the second wave of black metal, we're talking early 90s. We've gone through thrash, we've gone through grindcore, we've gone through death metal. So these bands from Norway kind of found that the death metal, even though, you know, it's intense music and all that, but as time is going, it's getting too polished. It's getting too...
For who?
for people who are into extreme music, I guess. And then they start kind of rebelling against what metal has become and start thinking what metal should be is what bands like Venom put down, and what this band we just heard, Bathory or Celtic Frost, like this is what metal should be. It shouldn't be singing about helping the environment, and it should be about darkness. It should be about Satanism. It should be ugly. So there was this guy named Euronymous from a band called Mayhem.
Mm-hmm.
And he had this record store, and that's where people used to gather. And that's kind of where the early black metal scene in Norway kind of started, was, you know, people gathering at this record store where, you know, he was this very extreme metal kind of guy. And Mayhem had this singer, his name was Dead. So they had recorded, I guess, some early stuff with this guy. This guy, you know, is a troubled kind of person, so he ends up shooting himself, kills himself. This guy Euronymous comes in and finds that his singer has killed himself, takes pictures of it, like with the blood scattered all over the walls, skull fragments on the floor, and uses it as like a cover for the album.
Uh-huh.
So these kinds of crazy fucking stories start coming out of Norway. So this guy Euronymous is also himself eventually murdered by a guy from a band called Burzum. His name is Var Vikernes. So you have these stories coming out of Norway about this scene
where the bands are killing each other
and burning churches. They're taking the satanic kayfabe to a whole...
Yeah, they're really living the
They're
gimmick.
really living this shit. Just taking the shock and the extreme of it to another level. And also their recordings were purposely like done lo-fi. Like, well, here's a song from a band called Darkthrone. Now, not all these bands were burning churches. They were in the scene, and there was people in the scene that were doing that.
Yeah.
I mean, I have a friend from one of these bands. He wasn't burning churches, but the scene that they were around, this kind of stuff was going on. So there's a few really respected bands that were from the early part of this scene that, you know, they carry weight in the metal world.
And this is early 90s
in Norway.
Yeah.
Yeah, early 90s Norway. There's a song called Transylvanian Hunger by Darkthrone. One thing you'll notice is that the music is kind of beautiful.
Yeah. It sounds like industrial music,
but it's melodic. It's atmospheric. Puts you in a trance, in a dark trance.
It sounds like we're listening to it through a wall. You know, like it's leaking through the sound coming from somewhere else.
It's probably one mic in the room.
Embrace me to the daylight, slumber. To be drained by the shadow of your broken past. I dream, the only to swarm blood. So pure, so God. Desolated hunger.
Aspect is really interesting.
It makes you really have to listen to it.
Yeah.
To figure it out, to see what's going on. There's this I don't give a shit what you think about it kind of vibe about it.
Vocals sound more like storytelling.
The music is always dark.
Does it always not change? Like this has like no rhythm changes or?
Well, just like the Tampa death metal,
Yeah,
you hear each band does it their own way.
I see.
And it doesn't mean every Darkthrone song sounds just like this, because Darkthrone has different vibes to them too, but this is one of their more really classic black metal songs. And then you have Mayhem, which this album is called De Mysteriis Dom Satanas.
And this is the guy who ran the record store. Took the pictures of the singer who died.
Singer, used it as an album cover.
And gets murdered.
And then he gets murdered by the guy in a band called Burzum. But on this track, the guy on Burzum is playing bass. This album doesn't come out until after this murder has happened. So this is a song called Funeral Fog. Hear the mood of it.
Yeah.
Like from the first song to this song, there's a mood that black metal sets. Kind of a dark, atmospheric, melodic.
To me, it feels like the speed is incidental. Yes, they're playing fast, but it's not really about the speed. It's like it creates this
atmosphere. So this album came out after the guitar player was murdered, and the guy who murdered him is in jail now. But the scene is moving forward without them. There's other bands that are forming. There's other bands that are, people are talking about.
How much would you say you listen to this music?
A lot. Especially when I first discovered it.
Yeah. And would you listen to like an album over and over again?
Yes. Or bands over and over. It's all I listened to when I first discovered it. There's something really beautiful about it. Like the melodies of the guitars. It brings pictures in your mind, and it also matches where they come from.
None of the parts are important. It's the whole.
Yes.
listening to this a lot?
In my 20s. Here, I'll play you a song from Burzum, the guy who murdered the guitar player from this band, who's actually playing the bass on this track. You see how they're different?
Right away.
A song called Lost Wisdom.
Not as lo-fi, and it has more dynamics.
How do you feel about those vocals?
He means it more than King Diamond. About this music is that after hearing Mayhem, this kind of sounds like pop music in comparison.
Once again, this is one track from Burzum.
When you start listening to it, the subtleties of it become really important. The subtle differences.
Yes. They belong together, but they're different.
Yes.
They're related. And then there is a band, again, out of Norway called Immortal. It's a song called The Sun No Longer Rises. To the melodicness, though, of it.
I hear it. It's more orchestral.
Yes. It's really beautiful. Like they come from cold countries and you feel the coldness.
It's truly original new music. And I probably feel like you felt maybe when you first heard Slayer, where I can't say I like it, but I can see I'm going to want to come back and listen to it more because...
Try it again.
Not even try it again. I feel like it holds secrets. I can get glimpses of it, but it's not available on the face.
Yeah.
It sounds like the music is hidden inside that.
Yeah, because of the production.
Yeah.
You know?
Very cool.
So much of today's life happens on the web. Squarespace is your home base for building your dream presence in an online world. Designing a website is easy, using one of Squarespace's best-in-class templates. With the built-in style kit, you can change fonts, imagery, margins, and menus, so your design will be perfectly tailored to your needs. Discover unbreakable creativity with Fluid Engine, a highly intuitive drag-and-drop editor. No coding or technical experience is required. Understand your site's performance with in-depth website analytics tools. Squarespace has everything you need to succeed online. Create a blog, monetize a newsletter, make a marketing portfolio, launch an online store. The Squarespace app helps you run your business from anywhere. Track inventory and connect with customers while you're on the go. Whether you're just starting out or already managing a successful brand, Squarespace makes it easy to create and customize a beautiful website. Visit squarespace.com/Tetra and get started today.
One more band from this genre is a band called Satyricon. This song's called Mother North. People always will ask me, well, what's the difference between death metal and black metal? Do you hear it?
It's completely different.
Completely different.
Completely different. This sounds like church music to me, but avant-garde church music.
To some extent, it is kind of religious music, but the religion is Satanism.
I don't know if that's true, though. Like, I understand that's the kayfabe, but I don't hear that. I hear, like, classical, devotional church music in this.
It's an iron beat of
It's very serious.
Yeah.
It stays very serious. It doesn't leave.
But you know, it's like Ozzy was the Prince of Darkness.
Yeah.
And Black Sabbath was the original Satanic band. And then before every show, he would get on his knees and pray to Jesus.
Yeah.
So it's like, it's almost like to accept the conceit of Satan, you have to be a believer to start, you know? Sounds very orchestral. It's amazing. Is it only guitars or is there keyboards?
There's keyboards in the back of it.
This sounds uplifting.
The singer of this band is a very, very close friend of mine.
It's amazing. It's amazing.
And let me tell you, these guys, they're really smart guys. Guys who play death metal, black metal, when you meet them,
Yeah.
they're really smart.
It's intellectual. You can hear it.
Yes. It's very intellectual, and they are very intellectual people.
They're not messing around.
Yeah. So, yeah, that's the black metal. When I listen to metal these days, it's usually black metal. I really love the genre. And then the theatrics, like the way these bands look, they have like face paint. They have like, it's very kind of inspired by Kiss, you could say, but the Demon. It's just different versions of, they call it corpse paint. It comes from Kiss, it comes from King Diamond. Early Celtic Frost used to do it.
The face paint?
Yeah, like they would have like black under their eyes, but their face would be white. As a guy growing up with the heavy metal, with the thrash music, with the death metal music, by the time we get into the 90s, yes, there is that black metal coming out of Norway, but then there's also bands that are mixing groove with metal.
What do you call the genre?
I mean, some people would call it groove metal at first, but groove metal evolved into, you could say, you know, goes into industrial metal, goes into new metal.
I see.
You wouldn't call Pantera a new metal band, but Pantera was doing a groovy version of heavy metal in the early 90s, like a song like this called A New Level. Different bounce about it.
Closer to System.
Well, I was very inspired by bands like this. bands have already done the fat stuff. Bands have already done the thrash stuff, the extreme death metal, the growling. When I get to the point where I'm doing what I'm doing, what can I do that's new? You know, I don't want to, I love all these bands.
Yeah, but you don't want to repeat it.
But I don't want to copy it.
Of course.
So you start, you know, in a band like Pantera, you start hearing funky, kind of groovy, bouncy type of beats.
And these riffs sound like they could also be on a Soundgarden record, you know?
Yeah, well, they were coming out around the same time.
The drumming's more metal
Yeah.
here. Soundgarden, it's different, it's more rock. But the guitar is not so radically different.
So you have this, which Pantera is Pantera. I don't know what genre do you put. They're metal, they're groove metal, but you know, at the end of the day, they're Pantera. They do what Pantera does. A lot of bands were inspired by what they do, but some bands, you kind of can't put them exactly in that one genre. And then you got, you know, you start going into industrial. Industrial started as, you could say, industrial, but then bands like Ministry started putting guitars to drum machine.
It's in the conversation for sure,
yes,
of metal.
But the way it moves is groovy.
Get up! Get on your feet!
So they're one of the first bands to bring in that industrial vibe, but give the heavy metal or punk rock flavor to it, you know? The aggression.
Yeah.
Sounds of samples of drills and
It's like heavy metal for people who grew up on electronic and dance music.
yeah.
We're gonna rip this motherfucker off. We're gonna tear this motherfucker down.
Very interesting.
These are bands now experimenting, bringing different things into heavy metal and bringing heavy metal into different things. mixing genres, mixing influences, fusion of different things.
It's not like black metal, but it's as new as black metal.
Yes.
Just in a different direction.
At the time, yes. So Skinny Puppy you wouldn't consider a metal band, but a song like this, it's called Fascist Jock Itch. These bands in their earlier years didn't really have guitars, but these are kind of later records that they started bringing in guitars and bringing in the heavy metal, punk, hardcore energy mixed with the industrial. Can't mention these bands without mentioning Killing Joke. You know Killing Joke?
Yeah, English band.
Yeah, English band. You could say that what black metal, Venom, Motorhead is to that genre, Killing Joke would probably be to this genre of metal, even though Killing Joke was not a metal band. But a song like this, The Weight. Metallica covered this. But this was in the early 80s. Not metal.
No, they were considered like a post-punk,
but
hard new wave.
But you hear the guitars mixed with the very electronic kind of
very
drum.
Close to industrial music.
Yes. And then you got to mention 9 Inch Nails in this conversation with industrial. Song called Wish. So all this shit came out before what I guess people would call new metal. This is the first day of my last day. Pretty aggressive. this song started seeing commercial success.
I'm the one without a soul. I'm the one with this big fucking heart. No.
Once grunge came around, and a lot of those speed metal thrash bands were not putting out their best stuff in the early 90s, mid 90s. We had already heard it, it had already been done, and they were not kind of putting out their best records, in my opinion. And even the death metal bands after a while were kind of like, by the mid 90s, it was kind of like, it's just, okay, what else? And then you see bands like this that were coming out. I think there was bands like Us, but the first time, this is where I'm gonna start getting into new metal.
Okay.
The first time I heard Korn, I was like, this is something that's heavy, but it's heavy in a way that's not done the way that I've listened to heavy all these years. You felt a heaviness from the groove more than you did from the speed or because we'd already been through all the speed and all the fucking fastness and all the blast beats and all that. So for a generation that kind of lived through that, grew up with that, then you hear just bringing it with a fucking heavy bounce. And this was pretty much where I guess you could say new metal started.
You think I'm out to scare you? I'm only out to prepare you. But when you stop and turn around, your body's going there. You're gonna waste your time. Your life will soon be mine. You're definitely one of a kind.
There was something fresh about it.
Tell me why never like me. Tell me why such a fight me.
It's unlike anything that came before it.
No, it was its own thing, down-tuned guitars.
Yeah.
It's not going fast, but it hits you in the chest, it's just got a groove to it.
And it's related to industrial too.
Well, that's why I played industrial first.
It's post-industrial.
Yeah. It's a fusion of a lot of different things. There's hip hop involved.
Yeah.
Fuck you, I'm fed up with you. I'm not as good as you, fuck no one better than you. No, fuck you.
These build-ups.
I'm not as good as you, fuck no one better than you. You know what, fuck you, I'm fed up with you. I'm not as good as you, fuck no one better than you. You know what, fuck you, I'm fed up with you. I'm not as good as you, fuck no one better than you. You know what, fuck you, I'm fed up with you. I'm not as good as you, fuck no one better than you.
This is kind of ragey.
Well, Rage kind of had an influence on those new metal bands because of the hip hop or build-ups like this. So it was all kind of happening at the same time. The way you can kind of compare how the Black Sabbath sound was happening from the late psychedelic stuff from the late 60s.
Yeah.
It was something that was kind of happening that kind of trickled into one thing, trickled into the other, and
In each case, it's like someone has an idea of a new variation on something that's kind of around.
Yeah. And builds on it.
Yeah, I felt that way because I know Trent was really influenced by Ministry.
Yeah.
Trent had a different thing about him. Like, I didn't like industrial music, but his songwriting was so good that it transcended industrial.
Well,
and then I grew to like the music.
There was more songwriting, I think, involved with Nine Inch Nails, and you would say it's more commercial than Ministry.
Yeah.
Especially stuff that came later on. Deftones is another band from the new metal scene. This one's called 7 Words. Metal, and in the 80s metal was actually, you know, played on MTV and was kind of had commercial success, especially with the hair metal bands and the glam bands and all that. Aside from Metallica and, I mean, Slayer never became a huge commercial success. Should've never glorified. Now you're heavy metal had its thing in the 80s, and then in the 90s, grunge came and wiped out all of that.
Yeah.
And yeah, you had death metal, you had black metal, but these were not commercial kind of genres. New metal came out, which we never called it new metal, but these bands came out, and Korn, Deftones, Us, Slipknot started getting popular. We were playing the Ozfest to the point where we headlined the Ozfest at one point. Mm-hmm. I feel like, you know, new metal gets a bad rap because it became a cookie cutter thing where every label wanted their new metal band at some point, and
it's just because it got so popular.
Yeah, it got really popular, but the bands that I'm playing right now, and I guess include our own band in that thing, we were all doing something original and mixing things with metal that weren't being done before. Mm-hmm. So when people, you know, talk shit about new metal and it got all really popular and all this stuff, it got popular, one, because it was good at first. At first it was, and then it became every band wanted to try to sound like Korn. Every band wanted to try to sound like the Deftones.
Yeah.
Or Slipknot.
I felt like System came up in the wave of new metal, but it sounded nothing like any of the other new metal bands from the beginning.
I was trying to mix things with metal that even all these, like, it wasn't like, well, why does it just gotta be like industrial? Why can't I mix the Beach Boys and the Beatles and all this stuff? Mm-hmm. And Armenian music and Arabic music and everything I know. Why can't I mix anything with rock or metal? If it feels right and it feels like they belong together, and in my head, like, that's all the stuff that was natural to me to love, and it came out of me in a natural way, to where I wrote a song like Atwa that has very like Beatles, Simon and Garfunkel, then it comes in with this heavy fucking thing and then goes back into Beatles, Simon and Garfunkel. And then another thing that we did that I don't think you heard from any of these bands that I just played for you today were vocal harmonies.
Nobody had vocal harmonies.
Not very many that I could think of.
No, only System.
Yeah, in heavy metal music.
Yeah.
So us bands that were coming out of the Sunset Strip in the mid-90s, late 90s, I think we were doing something unique. I always saw System as a very avant-garde, abstract kind of band. It's interesting that people caught on to it. Mm-hmm. It's hooky. I write hooky stuff.
Yeah. But it wasn't obvious from the beginning that it was going to catch on, certainly not in the way that it has. Most people didn't get it.
No.
I remember, going to K-Rock and playing it for Kevin Weatherly and him saying, we will never play this band on our station. No matter what happens, we will never play this band.
Yeah, and a year later, he was playing it every fucking hour on the hour.
Number one on the station 1 year later. But that was the level of resistance because it was so different.
The new metal thing it's cool that it happened because it helped us be part of something that was kind of moving momentum-wise, and we were kind of going along with the wave. You could call us alternative metal.
I think that's fair.
Yeah, and I'm fine with that more than I am with the new metal, but people want to put us in a genre, and that's what it is. But I think there is things that we do that only we do.
For sure. Oh, absolutely. Good and bad.
Yeah, I guess so. And we're getting out of the new metal thing. First Slipknot album. Groovy, but heavy as fuck, with samples in the back. I mean, just meshing it all together.
Enemy, show me what you wanna be. I can handle anything, even if I can't handle you. Mentally, either way it better be. Don't you fucking pity me? Get up, get off. What the hell am I saying? I don't know about malevolence. Sure as hell, take it, and I want somebody to step up, step off. Walls, let me fall. Fuck you all. Get a grip, don't make slide till I drop the ball.
Death metal vibe. Just mixing the death metal, the groove. They're doing a lot of different stuff too, man.
Yeah. And they also had the theatrical stage show.
They came out after us. We were already moved to the Ozfest main stage at that point. But then they came out and they were on the second stage, and you can't ignore them.
Yeah.
And they just skyrocketed. Like, once they got a chance to be seen on that Ozfest, I mean, it became what everyone just started talking about, was Slipknot.
Because no one had ever seen anything like it before.
It was good, though. The music was, like, heavy. It wasn't just their look. It wasn't just the masks. Like, there was something really heavy about this shit.
Just be good. It's about that time, gonna get mine. Just be good. It's about that time, gonna get mine. Kill me, 'cause I'm already inside you.
They were definitely part of the evolution of metal. And now you see so many fucking bands wearing masks. Like, that's one thing I don't really understand. Like, right now, lately, like, metal, like, there's so many bands that wear fucking masks. And I'm like, it's kind of like what hair metal used to be, in a way, where it's like everyone's doing it now, you know? So 2 more bands.
Great.
One of these bands, I remember I was sitting with Joey from Slipknot, God rest his soul, and we were sitting in a hotel, and he was like, dude, have you ever heard of the Dillinger Escape Plan? And I was like, no. He's like, you got to listen to this band. So we went through all these genres, and now the last 2 bands I'm going to play are kind of bring a very technical musicianship, prog, math metal is what people start calling it. So here's Dillinger Escape Plan with Sugar Coated Sour. Chaos. but the musicianship. Jazz. Look where we started. And now we're like to this.
Wow.
This wouldn't have existed if all the other stuff didn't happen.
And also things like Yes didn't exist. You know, this is definitely a descendant of Yes.
Yeah, there's all kinds of shit going on here. So these are all late 90s. So from late 60s psychedelic, new wave British heavy metal, thrash metal, death metal, black metal, industrial metal, new metal. We get into the late 90s. To me, this is one of the heaviest bands ever out of Sweden. It's hard to out heavy Meshuggah. This is New Millennium Cyanide Christ. Every riff is on a different one.
Wow. So groovy that you don't lose it. Like you
No.
It's not hard to listen to, Math.
No.
It feels straightforward, even though it's complicated.
That cymbal keeps it straightforward. But there's all this shit happening in between that cymbal.
Yeah.
Very groovy.
Yeah, headbanger.
You can bob your head to it.
Easy.
But it's that cymbal that you're bobbing your head to.
Also, the rhythm of the vocal in between the guitars is really interesting, too.
Yeah.
Find a
just asked them, I was like, what does your new album sound like? And they said, seasickness.
Tetragrammaton is a podcast. Tetragrammaton is a website. Tetragrammaton is a whole world of knowledge.
What may fall within the sphere of Tetragrammaton? Counterculture? Tetragrammaton. Sacred geometry? Tetragrammaton. The avant-garde? Tetragrammaton. Generative art? Tetragrammaton. The tarot? Tetragrammaton. Out-of-print music? Tetragrammaton. Biodynamics? Tetragrammaton. Graphic design? Tetragrammaton. Mythology and magic? Tetragrammaton. Obscure film? Tetragrammaton. Beach culture? Tetragrammaton. Esoteric lectures? Tetragrammaton. Off-the-grid living? Tetragrammaton. Alt spirituality? Tetragrammaton. The canon of fine objects? Tetragrammaton. Muscle cars? Tetragrammaton. Ancient wisdom for a new age. Upon entering, experience the artwork of the day. Take a breath and see where you are drawn.
Tetragrammaton.com